All right, welcome back to Harvest Moon Farm. My name is Mickey, and today is actually my wedding anniversary. So I am going to start getting the things ready for our dinner. We're making dinner at home. We're going to grill some steaks. We've got a salad, some bread, and broccoli. Oh, and potatoes. So I'm going to just start getting things ready. My husband is still at work. So I'm just gonna slice our bread up that I bought off the discount, what am I trying to say? Off the discount rack at Walmart. You know how they have that rack that's got all of their bakery items that are marked down, breads, cakes, cupcakes, that sort of thing. So I just brought this loaf of bread for $1, and this will last us for 2 meals. I've got some butter here, about, maybe 2 or 3 tablespoons. And what I'm gonna do that I did last time, I'm gonna put it in the microwave. I'm actually gonna add a little bit of garlic powder, but I'm gonna put it in the microwave and melt it. And then I'm going to use my pastry brush or basting brush and brush the butter on that way. It worked out really well last time, so I'm gonna try it again. I'm gonna add some, like I said, some garlic powder. I used to always add garlic salt because that's what my mom did, and then it was always way too salty. So I figured out if I use the garlic powder, I get that garlic flavor without it being too salty. So this is all melted up now, so I'm just going to use my little brush here and just brush the butter on. Or brush the melted butter, I guess, actually. And then what I'm going to do is just wrap this up in foil, and then it will be ready to be put on the grill when we put the meat on. Make sure to get all that mixed in. That might have not been quite enough butter. And this bread is like the last loaf that I bought. It's got a huge hole in the middle. That's okay, it'll still be delicious. So I'm just gonna pour the rest of this butter over the top. There we go. So I'm gonna wrap this up. And then I'm going to put this to the side until it's ready to start cooking our food. And then I've got some broccoli here that I'm going to cut up. Tell you what, I cannot wait for my garden to start producing. This broccoli was so expensive. And they were very small broccoli heads. So I'm going to put this to the side. I'm going to give this to the chickens. They'll be super happy about that. So I think I'm trying to decide how I want to cook this. I think I might go ahead and roast it in the oven. So once I get it all chopped up in this bowl, then I'll put some olive oil and salt and pepper on it. And I'll have it ready just to roast up when we're ready to start cooking the rest of our meal. supposed to be really warm here this weekend, which is nice. I'm going to get some of my summer garden planting done tomorrow. Got my tomatoes and peppers and some other things ready to go. All right, so there's our broccoli. I'm gonna put this in this bag and I'll take it out to the chickens here in a little bit. So like I said, I'm just gonna, oh, there's a leaf in there. I'm just going to put some olive oil in here. I'm gonna do about a teaspoon of salt. Oops. And some pepper. I'm just gonna stir that around. Looks like I need some more olive oil. All right, so there's that. Okay, then I have some baby potatoes. I have they were a mix of red and white, so I'm just gonna poke these with a fork. And I'm gonna cook them in the microwave first so that they are done, or mostly done. And then I'm gonna wrap these in foil and we're gonna stick these on the grill. Let me think. Maybe I'll put them in the oven with the broccoli. I'm trying to decide. I'll have to think about that for a minute. I can't decide what I want to do. So my husband and I have been married for 20 years, which just seems so strange. Five kids, 6 grandkids, in-laws, you name it. All right, so I'm gonna stick these in the microwave. So I've got a cookie sheet with some parchment paper, and I'm just gonna put the broccoli on it. You know, I think I will just put the broccoli at one end and the potatoes at the other. My dishwasher is full, so I need to empty it. There are a bunch of bowls, a bunch of Tupperware that my dad had given me that was sitting out in the garage that I finally brought in and got washed up, so I need to get it put away. Okay, so we've got our broccoli ready, our bread's ready, our potatoes have started cooking. I'm gonna go ahead and get my dishwasher emptied while the potatoes are cooking, and my husband should be home anytime, and then after he takes a shower, then we're gonna start cooking we're gonna grill our steaks. Okay, so what I'm going to do with these potatoes is, let's see, I'm going to cut them in half now. And then we're just going to lay them on this cookie sheet with our broccoli. Ouchie. They're super hot. The dog must not have noticed that my husband's home, because normally he is barking and whining and going crazy. Ouch. All right, just a couple more. Ooh. hot, hot. Okay, we'll get these on our tray. Oops. And then I'm going to do a little drizzle of olive oil over them as well. And a little salt and pepper. All right, so that is ready to go in the oven. Well, I got too much meat out again because some of these packages had 2 steaks in them and some had 1. That is okay. My husband is all about leftover steak. All right, so I've got some chipotle and roasted garlic steak rub, not sure. So I'm just going to, go ahead and tenderize these just a little bit. And then I'm just gonna, he's coming in. Then I'm just gonna go ahead and sprinkle some of this on here. I'm gonna sprinkle a little salt on here because this rub is salt-free. But I just want a little. I'm gonna lay a paper towel over them just to protect them a little bit. And then we are ready to go until it's time to start the grill and get everything cooking. All right, the steaks are done. My husband's taking them off the grill right now. I'm gonna check the broccoli and potatoes. So we're gonna let our steaks rest for about 5 minutes. We're gonna go ahead and let the broccoli and potatoes cook another 3 or 4 minutes, and then we should be ready to eat. Woo! That bread looks so good. Smells good. All right, here's how our veggies look. And here's our bread. Oh my gosh, the bread looks so good. Smells amazing. Alrighty. Whoops. Drop some broccoli. All right, happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary.
All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and start planting out in my green stalk. I had a few things planted in it last year. I've got something that's coming back up. I'm not sure what it is. So I'm just gonna leave it. So I'm mostly putting herbs in this. I'm also gonna put some lettuce. Dude, it's just dirt. I've just got this little, it's very bright out here. I've just got this little garden fork and I'm just going to kind of scratch up the dirt that I've got in there so I can get my seeds in. Sorry, it's a little bit windy today, so I turned the sound off and I'm just going to talk over and tell you what I'm doing. So I'm using my little gardening fork. I'm just going to scratch up
the surface of all of the soil that's in each one of my little gardening pockets there in my green stalk. I do have 2 pockets that have something growing from last year. I think it might be dill. I'm not sure, but I'm going to leave it because it's doing really well. So I'm just going to scratch all these up and get them ready to start planting. So I was thinking that I didn't have any soil to top these off with because they're really not quite full enough. And then I realized I had an empty planter right beside me that was full of potting mix. So I'm using the fork to kind of dig it up, and I'm just topping off these little gardening pockets with some of this soil out of this planter box.
Well, that was helpful. So I have some oregano. I think I'll start with that. Oh my gosh, these seeds are so tiny. Okay. I think I'm going to put it in this one next to the bottom. I've got some chives that I think I'll put in the very bottom one. But let's see, what else do I have here? Cilantro, parsley, and a bunch of lettuce. All right, so I can get these seeds to not be in the top of my seed packet. These, thank goodness, are not quite so tiny. Chives in like 3 of these little, or 4 of these little pockets. And then I'll put parsley in the other 2. And then I'll just have to thin it when it starts coming up because these are crazy tiny. Okay, so I got chives, parsley, and oregano. And I have some cilantro that I think I'm going to put along with this. I think this might be dill, maybe? I'm not sure. So I have my green stalk right out my back door because I thought that would be good for just collecting some things. You know, if I needed something for dinner, then they would be just right outside here. And then I also have, I planted a bunch of things in my raised beds in my garden too, so we'll see how that goes. All right, now I have some lettuce. Let me see. So I've got 12 little pockets now that I can put my lettuce in. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. So I can do 3. have some lettuce in my in-ground garden as well. But lettuce is one of those things that's just really so easy to grow. I need to replant some of my lettuce in my in-ground garden because I planted some starts, and then we got that freeze a couple last weekend or the weekend before, I can't remember now. And so I'm not sure if they are going to make it. Alrighty, and then these are my favorite kind of seeds. So these have the, they're pelletized, so they've got this little coating on them. Typically it's either red or orange. I think I might have seen blue too. But if you've never seen them, if I can get this packet open, I will show you. I have some carrot seeds that are pelletized too, and it makes it a whole lot easier. So I don't know if you guys can see that, but they're just like little, basically it's some sort of coating that they put on there so that the seeds are not so tiny, so that it's easier for you to manage them, which is super helpful. Alright, so I'm just going to take what's left of this potting mix in here and sprinkle it over the top of everything, and then I'll get it watered and it'll be ready to go. I'm just going to lightly cover them. Really just enough that the birds can't get to it easily. Of course, now I can't remember which ones I've done, which ones I haven't. Okay, now I just have to go get the hose so we can fill this up and get it all watered, and we'll be good to go. So the green stalk planters are great because you just fill up this top reservoir and it waters down to water every single level. And then it's got a drain spout so that the excess water will just drain out. So I'm going to take my hose back and set the garden up to get it watering again.